Okay, Turtle fans, I'm back from Rebels Come Con and I had a pile of really cool turtle stuff to look at, so I'm really excited to get to these because I've been eyeing them up for a while, ever since they were announced, and that is the Playmates Sketch Turtles. We're in a 40th anniversary year of the original comic from Eastman and Laird, and we have these turtles based on the original comic with these really weird, fun designs to them, and they also have like a little piece of display base as well that comes in each of the boxes, so they're going to look really cool. Let's take a quick look at the special packaging we have. Again, it's that 40th anniversary logo that we're seeing pop up in some of the projects or some of the products right now in the stores. And we can see that oddly shaped Leonardo sketch turtle. There's a little base for a sketch here in addition. It's a little green ooze cannon. That's going to be with all the turtles, not just Leonardo. And we're going to see more of the original sketch print on the back. And then we're coming back around to the front, and that's basically what you're going to see here is a display stand, the figure, and a little sketch. Now, just announced today, Playmates is going to have an exclusive at SDCC, and that is going to be the black and white version of these turtles, so really true to the original sketch and the old comics. So very cool. You can pick those up right now. I think they have the red headbands, all black and white. So you'll have a chance to pick those up. Still waiting on the details of where they're going to be available at Comic-Con, but I imagine if it's anything like last year when we had the special versions of the Mutant Mayhem Turtles, it's going to be crazy. So we'll get you those details, and we'll check them out at the show and share that video with you guys as well. But today we're going to be opening these and checking them out. These are a Target exclusive. You can only get them at Target. I haven't seen them in the stores or on the website yet. But that's where you're going to be able to pick these guys up. So why don't we come in close and let's pop open these boxes and check out these awesome figures. All right, going to try something different today. Since these guys are a little smaller, I want to give you my perspective on them so we don't have, so you can see them nice and close. I'm not going to spend too much time on the boxes. We have 4 turtles. I want to get through 4 turtles really quick in this video and not take too much time. So I'm just going to open one, and the rest will just be open as I talk about them. So we're just going to slide these out from the top here, and we have our turtle here. Here is the sketch that it was talking about. Let me see if I get a better angle on that for you. There you go. Here is the sketch that is included with each of the turtles. It should be the same in every box, and it's going to sit inside that green ooze display base that is right here on the turtle. And we should be able to display that. Why don't I do that right now so you guys can check that out. We have that. I'm going to display it with the ooze forward and then pop that in there, and then we should be able to get this nice and squared away there. Let's give you a little zoom out so you can see that a little better. So here is the display base for that card right there. That's fun. I think I'm only going to need one for all the turtles though. I shouldn't need to put one in for each set of turtles because it should be the same, consistent throughout all of them, and you're going to want all 4. I would hope that Playmates would just sell this as a set because this is too awesome to not get all 4, particularly since they connect. So I'm going to start by popping out Leonardo's weapons here. And then we're going to rescue his little display base that's at the bottom of the package. I'm just using my sprue cutters. And here is that display base. Let's give you a little closer look here. And you can see it's a piece of the street with the sewer manhole on there. And we'll just pop that down. And then we get our Leonardo. And I don't want to scratch this guy. So again, using my sprue cutters to get his hands free. And then his legs are also seized in there. Yep. Always a challenge. He is secure in here, so if you wanted to keep him in box, he's not going anywhere. But something this pretty needs to be opened. So we will be cracking this guy open. We got most of him out of there. Doesn't want to come out, but he's going to. All right, and we just got the one last leg. Sometimes you got to get these from the back if you can't get them from the front. And we got one more that just doesn't want to quit. And sorry about that. Here we go. We won't be doing that with the rest of them. I'll just have them open so we can check them out. But here is your Leonardo. And just check this guy out. Absolutely love the design on here. Let's get that weird limb proportion, head proportion, this fat bottom legs. I mean, he's really pulling right out of that comic look. And you can see him all the way around here. And I think Playmates did an amazing job with this guy. Really excited about this. He's got nice articulation on him. You can see he bends in the elbow still right here. He has the hand articulation, shoulder articulation, the head articulation. He's going to have the leg articulation at the hip and at the knees. You can see the spacer right there. So here, bend at the knees as well. And yeah, I think that's about it, but still plenty of articulation. The tail doesn't move. I get a little wiggle out of it, but plenty of articulation on this guy. He looks absolutely amazing. The sketch lines there on the turtle really make that look pop. So let's get his little holsters on him. And I think we can mount both of them on here, right here and right here. Not exactly sure if this is right. Maybe they go the other way. Let's see. Let's see if they go this way. No, I'm not going to get them to fit that way, so I guess they do go. They go this way. There might be a way to do this, and I'll pick it up in a second. For right now, let's get the swords in his hand. So these are going to slide in, nice and easy, and I'll get a nice displayability to him here. And I'll get him on his manhole cover. Now he has these holes in the bottom of his feet, and that should allow you to put him here on the little manhole and have his swords, and this is what he looks like, and I think that is awesome. I mean, look at the design on that, the look, ferocity on the face, and just overall here, he looks really, really good. So I'm going to check him out and get him situated, and then we'll get our next turtle started. Why don't we shift over to Raph? I always like looking at Raph. So I want to make sure we get Raph here as well, but just here's an idea of what this could look like displayed with your little sketch behind it, and then we'll build this out as we add each subsequent turtle. Well, I got my Leonardo fixed as much as I can. They kind of wore this way on the original turtle, and you'll see there's different sizes here. So the one with the longer peg goes on the bottom, and then we have our Leo here. You can see the other ones starting to set up for what I opened, and what next I opened here was Raph. And Raph also has a little base here, and I'll just put Raph on it so you can check him out, and he also looks awesome. You can see he's got his two side holders here in the front. We'll just zoom in so you can check that out. And then he also has those sketch marks on the turtle. And then Raph also had a short sword that goes in the back here that were put on the turtle there. And you can see very similar odd proportions to his brother here with the gangly arms. And I think what's really different here is going to be the belt, and the facial mold is going to be different here, and then the coloring, of course. I kind of think the arms and the legs are very similar, looking to how the original turtles looked, but it's also going to be the figures are being roughly similar to each other. So I'm going to start by mounting this on the back of Raph here, now that I know similarly how it kind of sat on there compared to Leo. And I think it goes this way. I'm not 100% certain. I could just kind of gauge from looking at it. It should hang out a little bit on the left side here. And then we're going to have that sword in here like this. So you'll see this from the back. We'll put his sai and his hands here. In just a second. Let's zoom out so you can check out this process a little bit. I get my hands in the way. I know it's tough, but what we want to do is try to get these in here, and we need just a little bit of give in order to slide them in, and that is not always welcome. So let's see if we need our give pen or if we could do this on our own. I'm starting to get them in there. There we go. Okay, and they should tighten up around that hand once we get them in, but you can see him with his one sai there, and we'll get that second sai in the hand as well. This one I'm going to go from the top instead of trying to slide it in. It's a little narrower in the handle than it is in the grip. So here we go. I got that one in, and now we got both sai. We got him in there, and now we have our Raphael all geared out, looking awesome. And you can see him here with his sai, with that tough look on his face here. Same articulation as Leo. I'm not going to go over it. You got the knee joint articulation. You have it in the very short elbows there, the shoulders, the wrists, and then the head. So this one should connect to the base of Leo. So I'm going to swing Leo around here, and I think it just goes right here. So you can see these little perforations here. There's a hole on this side, and there's a tab on this side. And I think it just goes in like this. So after you connect it, you might just want to pivot him around a little bit so he's not right on top of Leo. Give him a little space. And I think you could start to display these however you want. But for now, I'm just going to have him right there. And you're starting to look a little sharp here. If we wanted to angle this, we got our guys, and they're starting to look really sharp. And their base here, I'm going to have to zoom out so you can see them. And I think they're starting to come together. So why don't we check out Donnie next? Love Donnie, the tech guy. Donatello does machines, as we learned from the NECA figures. So let's move on and check out Donnie. So now we have Donatello, again, looking really sharp in his little comic debut look here from Playmates. Different color. I love that they keep the classic colors a little different on these guys, and it's just a little more fun that way. The detail here, again, on his sash he has that the others don't. That's sort of a different combination of etchings on the figure. And then he has this holster in the back. This holster is mounted, so a little less room for error on that one. So I kind of appreciate that. We're going to mount him on his base just because it's a little easier to see him here. And he has that great articulation that allows him to reach all the way around, which with Donnie that makes sense because you want that two-handed bow weapon to be able to fit through both hands. So we'll just kind of set him up here with that bow, have him looking a little sharp, a little angry, but still cool nonetheless. Different smirk on Donnie. Let's zoom in and you can check out the detail a little bit more. Different smirk on Donnie. I kind of like that look. It's very tough, very ominous. They're all kind of tough in this one. There is no lightness like we have in the series. Kind of reminds me a lot of the original figures a little bit more because they have that tough demeanor on their face. I love the detailing on the shell here too. You can see those little rings around the shell give it a little bit of a different look to it. And this overall weird gangly look to the turtles, I gotta say, absolutely love it. So again, the base is very similar to the others. You can see just some cracks in the street that they're supposed to be standing on here. It's hard to see it with the gleam, but a little differentiation between the bases, but they're still relatively similar. This one should plug in just like we saw the Raphael plug in. And now we're gonna start seeing a couple of characters here. Raph, I want to spread out a little bit, get those bend in the legs, and I can show you how that works so he can get a little bit of a different stance. We want these guys to be in fighting stance, right? So a little bit different in that sense. So I'll sort of start to play around with these guys and mold them out. But we want to be able to have some space on here. But all we're missing for now is Mikey in the back, and then we'll have the look at this whole thing put together. All right, I want to end with Mikey. Mikey is the party dude. We always love checking out Mikey in any line. He's got a little bit more lively arm here because I guess his nunchaku are supposed to be holstered in the arm. So you can see that as opposed to the shell. His nunchaku are a chain link nunchaku here as opposed to the standard rope ones. I'm going to pop that in the hand here so we can see how those look. He doesn't have any kind of twirl effect or anything, so you're just going to have to use good old-fashioned imagination on this one. And then otherwise, I think he would be something like, let's see how this would look here. Probably something like this, mounted in the mounted on the arm, which I think is pretty sharp. I actually kind of like this mount system as opposed to on the belt. It's fun, it's more accessible. You can use it for blocking too. And I want to say his look is a little bit less sketchy on him, but I still think he looks awesome overall. Again, the different color than his brothers, same on the shell, same with the pegs. His mount system is a little different. And speaking of mount systems, his base is a little different too. He has another piece of the street, but he's got these little pegs in here for this crate. And you can see big peg, little peg in the bottom. So hard to mess this one up. Let's see if I can find a way to mess it up. Nope, it's exactly how it goes in. And we're gonna get Mikey on top of this in the back. Basically, I'm gonna just pop him up here and let's see if he balances. Yep, he balances perfectly on top of this, but I'll have to zoom out so you can see him. And he'll balance on top of that. And it's good because he'll stick out over his brothers in the back. On the shot here, they kind of have him up on one leg. I would kind of be sticking him off the side here and then popping up his leg. Now these legs rotate, so you could do something like this if you wanted by doing that. So you can do that. And while I'm at it, if we're putting this thing together, let's try to get the pose from the sketch. And the pose from the sketch looks something like this when you get it all together. And I think that is a close approximation, as you can see right here on the sketch card, to how we might see these guys depicted. So I try my best. I think the only limitation was you're not going to get the side and the outside of these fingers without bending the side too much. But other than that, you get Donnie with his straight up and down bow, Leo with the two-handed katana hold, one holstered, Mikey, just like we showed you on there, and then Raph with his two katanas in this more, it was called a Seiyuchin stance, a little bit more evenly balanced there. But I think it looks absolutely awesome. It's an awesome set to have them set up like this. I might just play around with it to get the right angle so they're all facing the right way. I feel like Michelangelo should be a little bit more balanced and the peg should be over here. So I'm going to play around with the box to see if I did something wrong. But other than that, that is basically a look at this awesome, awesome set. You get all 4 pieces. You can put them in a display like this and have them all set up looking toward your enemy. You get the manhole cover on Leo. These are just generic street pieces, and then you get Michelangelo's with the box just to prop him up over his brothers so you can actually see him. And then you can mimic that design that comes on the card. The same card for each of the characters with that ooze, smashed ooze canister base. And then it's basically a look at what these guys look like all assembled. I'll give you a 360 right now on this assembled display, and you can check this out. They look absolutely awesome. Every way you look at it. Of course, you can only have them facing one way, so at the end of the day, they look the best from the front. But if you wanted to mix them up, you know, feel free to mix them up. I'm just going for the option that is depicted here on the card. See if you get them basically like they're in, like they were drawn on this card, and that's just my personal preference. But like I said, you can display them any way you want. So that is your look at the Playmates Target exclusive TMNT Sketch Turtles. So that completes our look at this amazing Sketch Turtles set from Playmates. I know there was a lot of information coming at you and a lot of things and a lot of close-ups really fast, but I'm trying to keep this video short. I know you don't want to spend 45 minutes looking at these figures, although they're awesome, so you do. And we do have 4 of them here. So just some quick thoughts. The bases line up pretty well. There is no distinguishing mark that spills over from one to the next that I can see, like a crack or anything like that. They line up and they fit in pretty tight. I don't have any gaps in between them. Underneath the base, the character's name is also written on it. So if you mix up Donatello and Raphael's base, you'll be able to suss that out later on. Now they do have these sort of ripples on the outside that tend to line up pretty well. So if you had these in the wrong position, and Mikey's is a little bit smaller than Donnie's and Raph's, so it wouldn't fit anywhere except where it is. I don't think Donnie and Raph would fit on each other, so this is probably the only assembly, but you can move the characters around on the bases. They don't have to be on their own base. So the footholes are universal, but the base is only arranged this way. So question, how do I get these? I want them, they're awesome. They're only at Target. Calm down if you don't see them right now. Do not buy them off of eBay in the secondary market. They are just starting to hit store shelves. So you should see these piling in soon to your local Target. Then Target will probably list them on Target.com, and then you'll be able to order them from Target.com. Do not panic. Do not buy them in the secondary market. They just came out. Give it a couple of weeks. It varies by location. For example, I found the newest NECA Last Ronin figures before they were even announced. So you just never know where you're going to find things and when. We'll be doing that review on Thursday, by the way, so just after this review. So you never know. So just wait, patience. Playmates is getting them to collectors' hands, and then we have that special Comic-Con exclusive set. If I get my hands on it, I'll grab one of those too, and we'll check that out. But this set is amazing. Absolutely my favorite. I'm gonna have to find a place of distinction behind me because it's definitely going on that shelf. It displays amazing, it looks amazing, they're fun, they have this weird different look, and as I always say, in a crowded turtle market, it's always great to see something new and taking a risk on doing something fun, and this is just that kind of fun, this dynamic base that builds together and displays these great sketch turtles, and there's so much you can do with them. I just love it. So I think you will too. I know you want to get all of them, so as I see them out there, I will put out store reports, and hopefully you guys will be able to pick them up soon. So that's all for this time. As always, like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.